What's going on, people? We're doing a live session right now with the Discord. The focus is just to look at some stocks and some setups for this week, answer any questions people may have, and then just talk about my overall thoughts on the market for this week and the rest of the month. The first thing I'm going to say is none of this is financial advice, so hopefully you guys understand that. Each and every decision you make in the market this week is down to yourselves and not influenced by me. So I'm going to jump straight into it. One of the first things I like to do usually is go onto Yahoo Finance and then kind of just look around. I also like to pull up TradingView because this will give me a good indication of what the stocks are doing in regards to price action. I will say that depending on what kind of trader you are, different things are going to work for different people. So, if you're a fundamental trader, you want to be on Yahoo Finance, looking at news, looking at what's going on in the markets regarding headlines, any kind of news that can impact your stocks in any way. If you're more of a technical trader, you want to look at the price action, you want to look at patterns, see how stocks are moving based on their charts, then that's also not a problem. But I'm going to kick things off today. I'm going to go with NVIDIA. All right. So it's a little bit slow because I'm screen recording. We'll get there. But I'm going to start off with NVIDIA. So as you guys know, NVIDIA reported earnings a couple weeks ago. Since then, the stock has dropped pretty drastically in comparison to what it did the rest of the year. Once the chart actually pulls up, we'll be able to see this live time. Kind of slow when you're recording, but it's all good. Let me see, otherwise I'll pull it up in Yahoo Finance too. It could be that too. Could be either of those two. Okay, it's on here right now. And hopefully by the time... okay. I'm gonna start off with Yahoo Finance. Right, chart is a chart, so you guys can see what's up. So as I was saying, NVIDIA has dropped drastically in the past couple weeks. What's going on here? Why is it going funny like this? That's what happens when you got too many tabs. All right, okay, it's up here. Okay, so NVIDIA, right? We had earnings a couple weeks ago, and this is why it's good to combine the technical with the fundamental. We had earnings a couple weeks ago. This stock... Say that again. Okay, here we go. This stock was up at $130, right? Middle of August, middle to late August. You can see a bit of consolidation here on the daily chart, 5 or 6 days straight. And then we had the earnings, which, by the way, the earnings was actually pretty good, but because the expectations for NVIDIA is so high right now, they outperform expectations like multiple quarters in a row. But now we got to the point where they couldn't just say AI. They couldn't just talk about what they're doing right now. Like, they couldn't outperform the expectations, even though they had a good earnings. So unfortunately, the stock price sold off. Now, this had an impact on not only the semiconductors, but the Nasdaq as well. So QQ. Oh, I'm sharing. Yeah, I am sharing it. Okay, hold up. Thank you for pointing that out. So you don't see no screen at all, or you see the wrong screen? Okay, hold up. Go back to Discord. That's very strange. All right, tell me if you see it now. All right, and you see the all three tabs, like NVIDIA, finance. Okay. Thank you so much for that. All right, I'm gonna start again. Thank you so much. Okay, so you see some consolidation on the daily chart, right? Right before earnings is sold off. You see the moving average crossing to the downside. These are the kind of things you want to look at when you are trading technicals, right? You see it. This purple line is a 9-day moving average. The orange line is a 21-day moving average. And in this case, what they usually call this is a death cross, right? When a moving average is crossed to the downside. So you see a death cross here, the moving average cross to the downside. You see price action drop below the moving averages. So once you see these back candles, you see price action below the moving averages. It's clearly bearish. So we're in a bearish trend. Now, the next thing you want to do in these kind of times is look for a level of support. You see, you want to draw a level of support, right? You can zoom out on the chart and zoom out, and you can say, okay, where's the next place where it can probably hold at? For me, it'll be near here where we closed on this day. We kind of wicked off this day for around 97, 98. Okay, that's what I'll be looking at for Nvidia. A $4 or $5 drop before we can find some kind of level of support. Now, don't get me wrong, it can easily just reverse here. The stocks can do anything at the end of the day. It's technicals, it's just technicals, right? They could announce something tomorrow, it could just start uptrending again. Anything can happen, right? But I'll be saying I'm looking for it to fall, let's say, I'm looking at it to fall like 97, 98, anywhere around here, right? Where it previously was beginning of August. Some might be looking for it to drop all the way here, the highs of May, not the highs of May, where we consolidated during May before we gapped up. So $95, right? But you need to have separate price targets, okay? Conservative price target is a $4 or $5 drop, 4 or 5%. If you have a bit more of a, if you're expecting the stock to drop even further, then you're expecting to drop all the way to 95s here. So this level here is also a really good level to look out for right here. Previous resistance, 3 times we resisted, and once we did break, we gapped up all the way. So that's what I'll be looking at for Nvidia. Now, like I said, in regards to the fundamentals, I like doing a lot of my stock research on Yahoo Finance. I like looking at news, what PE ratios, this and that kind of stuff. PE ratio is 48. That's very high. I mean, I'm not going to get into PE ratios today, but it's a very high PE ratio. I mean, it's a good thing, but it also sounds like it's not exactly realistic in this case. So something just to look out for. Like I said, growth has been slowing down. We've not really seen anything in the last couple of weeks that gives an idea that Nvidia is going to continue to rally anytime soon. As in, when I say rally, I'm talking about this kind of rally where we jump, $35 in a short period of time. So we haven't seen anything to give us that indication. But right now it's clearly bearish. Tech is bearish. A lot of the big tech have been selling off and losing momentum recently, which kind of brings me on to the next point, which is Palantir. The reason I want to bring up Palantir right now is because Palantir has been holding strong. Okay? When I say Palantir has been holding strong, what I mean by that is big tech has been selling off, the AI stocks have been selling off, Palantir has been holding up steady. There's no way you can look at this and, I mean, obviously it's bearish, but there's no way you can look at this and say, oh, Palantir ain't holding up strong. Palantir is holding up strong, right? And look, this is the great thing. You're going to see it since, I'd say May. Each dip gets bought up. Each dip is getting bought up with Palantir, right? Every single dip is getting bought up, People know this is a valuable maybe people don't know, but this is a valuable company, right? This is a company that's doing true AI. So when I say true AI, last year, pretty much any company, across the board, any company who just mentioned AI in their earnings call, any company who just would say AI, that was kind of what was driving their stock price. Now we're at a point where market, big institutions start to see past it, right? They see who's really doing true AI. So, for example, Palantir is selling a product which is going to benefit from AI and actually benefit from AI. They're not just using the words AI or we're trying to look at AI. They're not doing that. Google did that, Amazon did that. A couple of companies have done that, and it helped them last year. This year, it's not good enough. Palantir this year has held up. This one I've been shouting about. This one from it was $8 last year, like April, May. So it's actually nice to see this actually at 30 right now. But again, I'm looking at, I'll be looking at the calls soon enough because we're holding in between the moving averages. Yeah, we're slightly more bearish than bullish. Here, this is the kind of thing you like to see, when we gapped up. That was a crazy call that we did in the Discord earlier this year. I'm not going to forget that one. But yeah, right now in between the moving averages on the daily chart, it's just like, I think it's getting to that point again, like this, getting to that point again where we just breaking out, right? We hitting the kind of resistance from this year, the highs of this year, but once it comes back down, we'll be looking to break out because each and every dip of this stock is getting bought up. I believe there's either rumors or it's confirmed that they're going to be getting added to the S&P 500 as well, which is why you see this crazy 4-hour candle. I'm sure the hourly candle looks just as crazy. There we go. So yeah, you see this kind of consolidation phase. I mean, it's slightly bearish, but consolidation phase before it just pushes up. That's the kind of thing I like to see with Palantir. Really, I've been saying this for a few months now. Really, my price target is $34 and then $40 with Palantir. I don't see how this doesn't reach that price point before the end of the year. So just keep Palantir on watch. Now, when it comes to choosing a strike price or something like that, give yourself time. Look, if you're up here and you got the $40 calls in middle of August, you lose. If you got the $40 calls for November, you're back up, right? It's more expensive, but it's also that simple. There's a lot of people who's going to be trying to, buy this up over the next few weeks, over the next few months, especially when it's one of those stocks which can hold stable no matter what's going on in the market. So yeah, please do look at Palantir. Again, nothing is financial advice. If I pull up Palantir here, I'm sure they have a nice PE ratio. I'm sort of talking between 20 and 25, I'm saying. Might be high. Wow, never mind, 178, that's incredibly high. So that is something to be wary of. When you see a PE ratio of 178, that's extremely high. Again, that's extremely high, and it could be good or it could be bad. Good in the way that we're expecting a lot of growth. Bad in the way that the expectation could be too high as well. So that's something to note. I did not know it would be 178. That's actually a crazy ratio. I also want to look at Shopify. I'm going to put up the daily chart for Shopify. A few reasons you're going to see right now once it loads. So the PE ratio, price to earnings ratio. So the best way to explain that is, I would say, so obviously price to earnings. So the stock price compared to its earnings. So how valuable it is. So when it's trading at 178, so let me go back to Palantir. When it's trading at 178 PE ratio, the stock it's basically saying the stock is worth way more than the current share price. You see, 178 is a high number. Like, you know how I said I was expecting a 20 to 25? That's a good PE ratio. If your P ratio is 178, that's crazy high. Like, so they're expecting it to, it's basically saying that this stock is really undervalued, that it should be worth way more than it is. If that makes sense. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. They're basically expecting growth. They're expecting growth. Yeah. One thing to note though, I forget if I think it's 20. If you're below 20 and if you're below 20, but your stock is like, let's say bullish, like okay, let's look at I'll give you an example here. What stock has been pretty bullish recently? Um, Starbucks, okay? I'll give you Starbucks, for example. Once it loads. But yeah, PE ratios is important for those who are like long-term investors. They look at PE ratios. Okay, so Starbucks is bullish, right? I'm gonna pull up Starbucks on Yahoo Finance so you can compare. See, Starbucks P ratio 25. Remember, I said between 20 and 25. That's a good P ratio, right? 25. And it's clearly bullish, right? It's clearly, if you go to the daily chart over the past few weeks, it's obviously, gapped up. So it's got 25 is a good P ratio. If Palantir has 178, expect Palantir to be a $50, $60 stock by next year because the P ratio is so high. So they're expecting growth. They think it's like a great opportunity in regards to how it's going to grow in the near future. That's the P ratio for you. But yeah, what stock was I looking at? Shopify. Okay, Shopify. Back to Shopify. Once it loads, go for it. Palantir. Pan. Yeah. So you're asking. Sorry. So you're asking me if the 25 compared to the 178 means it's less valuable right now, or yeah. So yeah, good question. Right. So because the PE ratio is 25, like I said, because between 20 and 25, it's around the correct value, right? 178 means that it has way more potential. Like there's a lot more growth expected. They have a very high P ratio, so it's a bit confusing sometimes because actually, if you have less than 20, you can still be undervalued and like it could still be a good opportunity. But if you have 178, it's basically saying we all know how valuable this stock is, and we all know this stock is going to be extremely valuable in the future. Does that make sense? That's why it's 178. Starbucks, yeah, Starbucks is 25, which is good. That's a great pre ratio. But that's everyone saying it's fair value right now. It's $91. It's fair value. It's a good P ratio. But Starbucks, the stock is fair value. Palantir, maybe Palantir in 6 months is going to be at $91 per share. Then by then you're going to see the P ratio will be like 30, 35. It would have come down because they're like, okay, now it's a stock which is at the correct share price. No, no problem. Definitely ask if you any question. Definitely ask. Um, so yeah, Shopify. I'm also going to pull up Shopify here. I have no idea what the PE ratio could be for Shopify, but 67. Okay, so yeah, Shopify is still all right. So the reason I pull up Shopify on my watch list for this week, um, I'm gonna zoom out for this. More. Okay, there we go. You start to see it. All right. So last year we were all the way up at 135 plus. Okay, I'm not gonna go too far back. Um, the reason I'm doing this because I'm going to talk from an investor standpoint first before I talk about the trading side of it this week. So nobody really wants Shopify right now for long-term shares, right? It's $67. If you guys remember, if you were in the markets 2 years ago, 18 months ago, you remember a lot of people were shouting about Shopify, right? Everybody wanted Shopify, which is funny. Yeah, I'm not worried about it. One thing I like, look, this is the easiest way to say it. Like the easiest way to say it is look towards puts. Doesn't mean load up on puts, but look towards the puts because they are going to pay some days in September. They really will pay. I'm not worried about it because September is always a positive month for me. I'm not going to lie. The market does what I expect it to do most times. A couple of things to note about September. We're expecting a rate cut, right? Job, CPI comes out, I think, Wednesday. We're expecting CPI to be flat. So one thing that has affected the markets a lot in the past is inflation data. Now I'm at the point where I know inflation data is pretty irrelevant. It's pretty irrelevant to what the market's going to do. So I'm not really worried because we're expecting 25, maybe 50 basis points. In regards to rate cuts. We're expecting CPI to be flat. Maybe the only thing that might affect the markets is unemployment numbers. If we get better than expected, then maybe the markets rise. But to be honest, we're expecting the market to continue selling off. I think even the job claims, even the labor market right now is the way it's being perceived on the news, the way it's being put out there is they're saying it's not as bad as it is. I think the job market right now is actually worse than it is. If you saw the revised numbers from last month, unemployment numbers, they were off by about 800,000, 838,000. Those kind of things gives me an idea that there's more negative sentiment to the market to come. I'm expecting a lot more puts this month than last month, maybe than next month. Like I said, the key bits of information, which sometimes we're like, oh, what's going to happen here and there? That's what we already know that. Like I said, CPI is going to come in flat. We're expecting 25 or 50 basis points in regards to rate cuts. Like we know a lot of stuff that's going to happen, and I don't think it's going to affect the markets too much unless it's to the downside. So I don't think there's any positive news really that we can expect to see the markets really rally. Of course, they can rally here and there. I'm expecting a red month. I'm expecting more puts than calls. But no, it doesn't worry me because, we prepare to trade any market. Wherever they give us, we trade that. So, good question though. So yeah, Shopify. Reason I got Shopify again, from a long-term investors standpoint, everybody was talking about Shopify when it was $130, $110, blah, blah, blah. Now it's at 67. It's bearish, so I'll be looking at Shopify puts this week. But if you are someone who likes shares, and you should like shares because we should all be investors, you can get yourself one share, a couple shares if you can afford it. Because I think, again, 18 months, 24 months out, hey, this is going to be up there, back at the hundreds. I mean, I only bought a couple shares last month. I will admit, maybe I should have done more. $54, $53, $50, $53, $54. Sure, maybe I should have done more, but I think this 67 price point is still good for long-term shares. What you can do is wait for it to sell off more, because even though it's bearish, it's still got room to drop. I don't think, when I see this on the year and I see it's down 13% on the year, I see that long-term, they still got one of the best e-commerce platforms out there. I'm not really scared for that long-term. Short-term, yeah, okay, clearly bearish. Moving average is starting to curl to the downside. Also, just closed below the 200 moving average. So that means we're looking pretty bearish for this week. And let me show you the weekly candles so you can get a better idea of what's up. Here you go. We've had back-to-back red weeks. We're starting to see more bearish momentum. We're starting to see a confirmed downtrend here. And once again, this is good for long-term investors, but short-term, you want to be looking to the puts, right? I don't really need to draw a level on the weekly chart. That's not really something I will do. On the daily chart, I will draw a level though, right here to where we gapped up to, right? Where we got up to. So the reason I did this is because it's for two reasons. When we had a nice bullish pattern here in June. Once we sold off, we found support at this level of $63. We rode it, continued higher, tapped the line a couple times, but continued higher. After we gapped up, this is where we gapped up to. So once we sell back down, I'm expecting us to sell down to the same price that we gapped up to before, $63. So that would be my price target for Shopify. Do you guys get that? Next up, I'm going to go with AMD. Reason I'm going with AMD is because we trade this one a lot in the Discord. And also, I was doing a live session on Friday morning, 4 a.m., but you were there anyway. I pointed out this trend to the person I was teaching. This is that market structure that, the guys are always talking about. Kind of clear what we expect AMD to do. This is like, the funny thing about this, again, from a long-term investor standpoint, this is at a nice level, some nice price points. Why? AMD is down 8% on the year. This is supposed to be one of the big, I'll probably say after NVIDIA, the biggest chip player in the market. So this is an opportunity for long-term investors, okay? Let me tell you a little secret about AMD, Back when I first started, or my first year of investing, I had AMD stock and I sold it for $30 because somebody at my workplace was literally striking fear into me, talking about, oh, we're expecting AMD to do this and that, blah, blah, blah. I was like, let me take my profit on AMD at $30. Now it's $134. All right, cool. The reason I'm putting that out there is because don't make the same mistake I did. If you see AMD right now and you're thinking about buying it, hey, one share or two shares might not hurt. If it drops all the way down to this yellow line of support, 130, it might not hurt. That being said, short term, market structure, right? Last time, this is where we consolidated before we saw the confirmation of the uptrend, right? When you're looking at reversal, okay? Let's talk about reversal right now. So here, bearish, 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 all the way down to here. People would have tried to get calls here. People would have tried to get calls here. Here's where you get the calls. Consolidation, right? Phase one, when you want to see a reversal. Phase one is consolidation. Two is indicating signs of bullish momentum. Indicating, right? It looked like it was trying to start breaking out. You saw a green candle. And obviously the final step was the confirmation. Look at that. From 132 to highs of 161. So again, right now, we're in a place where every other day AMD has a nice green day. Cool. Don't get caught out. You can day trade the calls, don't get me wrong. If you want to swing trade, that's risky. I did swing trade the calls, a couple weeks ago. I think that's where a lot of you guys came from. Those of you who came to my Twitter. Cool. We jumped up $5, $6, $7. Right. But now we're in that point where it's bearish. Look at the puts. Don't be the guy. Look again. Let me go back to, remember, patterns tend to repeat themselves. Don't be the guy here who got calls here. It sold off. Who got calls here. Came back down. Be the guy who got calls on the confirmation of reversal, right? When we are bearish or we're bullish, whatever, we're trying to break trend. We want to see a confirmation of reversal. We want to see consolidation. We want to see indication of an uptrend. And we want to see confirmation, right? Consolidate, indication, confirmation. Boom, we're off to the moon, right? Going on a trip in our favorite rocket ship. Go for it. So for what kind of trade? Like what kind of trade are you or, you know, this, oh, this is the daily chart. Yeah, great question. Great question. So I would be looking at the hourly, and then if I want to swing trade, I'll look at the 4 hour, I'll look at the daily. But intraday, I'll look at the hourly. You hear a lot of the time people like Bob say, go to your hourly, check your hourly. Look, let's say obviously I'm not gonna get in the bottom. That's just not gonna happen, right? But let me zoom in a little bit more. All right, cool. So I look at my hourly. First thing I'll notice, let's say we're here. Let's say it's the 15th of August. I'll be like, okay, are we in an uptrend? Well, we've had 3, 4, 5 days where AMD pushed up, sells off, but it respects the moving average. I push up again, sells off, respect the moving average. You see how it's not breaking below? And people will say moving average is a lagging indicator, but when a price action is holding true to the moving average, it's not lagging at all. Do you get that? So I would look at the hourly in this case. Does that make sense? Yeah. So let's say again, 15th of August, right? And price is now 146. We've jumped up $14 or $12, right? I'm like, what's going on here? I'll be like, okay, hold up. When the stock pushes up, like ignore the white line, okay? When the stock price pushes up on the hourly, it sells off as well, okay? So you're like, oh, I don't know if it's bullish or bearish, but it keeps going higher and it pulls back to make new highs, right? It pulls back to the moving average. You see the purple and the orange line? It ain't breaking below. It's sticking true to them. It's riding the moving average. It's like riding the wave upwards. You see? So it's pulling on back to go higher. Every time it's pulling on back to go higher. Does that make sense? Exactly. Higher highs and higher lows. Of course, man. It's a great question though, because I think a lot of people don't realize that like they be getting caught out because they're like, I don't know if this is it. If this is bullish or bearish. Go to your hourly, you'll see. Let me get my trend line back though. No worry, I'm going back. So let me know, because let me know which date. Okay, all this, yeah, yeah, yep, yeah. Great question. So I have my blue line of support, right? And I'll be honest with you, this blue line, I think I drew it 2021. But you see how price respects the blue line, bounce off the support, bounce off the support. Right, cool. I might not get in at the bottom, but I know once we start to break upwards, that's my confirmation. Because we already tapped the blue line a couple of times. Like I said, you'll see with Exxon, I have the same thing. But once we tap this blue line a couple of times, we start churning up. Once we get to this price, 136, or anywhere up above here, I'm like, all right, let me see the stock continue to push higher. I don't have to get in at here. I don't have to. I can wait. I'm really stingy with my entries. For sure, I'd love to get in here. I trust my line of support, but price can still fall below it, right? I'm gonna wait till I get the confirmation. And yeah, maybe I catch this one and it sells off. Okay, that took an L. Maybe it starts pushing up again, and I'm like, yeah, we bullish, right? Once this happens here, which one did I want to get? I didn't remember what I wanted to get. Oh yeah, hold up. My thing is not even slow. Anyway, sorry. Once we get this here, you see this purple and orange line crossing above the 200 moving average. That's bullish. That's a bullish sign. Technicals, that's a bullish sign on any time frame, right? So that's once you see this breaking above, it's time to get calls for sure. That's how I trade it every time. Same thing. And here is what the stock price was 140. We got up to 161, and that was, in fact, I had calls. I think somewhere here for 50. Like I said, I think that's one of the gains I posted on Twitter where a lot of you came from, because it was like 300 or 400% gains. Swinging trading. You don't look. Yeah, I missed it out here. Doesn't matter. I got in up here. Still quadruple my money, 5x my money. So I don't have to get in the bottom, but I do need to know what I'm trying to see, and then take it from there. So good, good question. No problem at all. So if I pull, go for it. Yeah, yeah. Go. Facts. Exactly that. No problem. Good point out. But be careful. Yeah. Great question. So first thing for my price target, I'm going to the daily chart. Okay. If I'm taking a call on it, well, obviously we need it reversed first, right? First thing I want to do is look where the moving average is, because what can happen with price, as you can see, is we can push up and we can get rejected by the moving average. So my first thing I'm going to look at is the moving average level. So maybe around 142 if it is uptrending. But 142 is an $8 gain. That's like a five, no, that's like a 6% gain. Because the reason I've been doing that is because you'll see intraday as well. Let me show you. And this is why sometimes I can profit off calls. when even when something is bearish. I'll show you right. It's just a strategy, right? So if I was to take calls, what's a good example? This is kind of a good example, right? So this is a bearish day, first day of the market. Let's say here, or not even somewhere here. One of these when it pulls. Sorry, one of these where it sells off. I might look to get calls once it starts pushing up, but I know it's not breaking above the moving average. It's just pushing up to sell off further. So I might take calls from here to here. That's when you'll see me say in the Discord, I'm gonna take 30%. I'm gonna try to get to 30% before it sells off again. None of these. Maybe this. Yeah, maybe this is a kind of good example. Yeah, we sell off. We start rising again. I'm like, well, we're not bullish, but we are gonna push up to sell off again. So I might take calls once I see a couple green candles back to back on a 5 minute or 15 minute, depending on how long I'm planning to hold. But yeah, I know it's going to test and retest the moving averages, so that's when I will try to take calls. Same goes for puts. Like if I want to get puts, and wait till the price action is back up, and then it's going to drop. Once it gets back up, then I get my puts. If it's down, that's not when I'm trying to get the puts. I wait for it. Look at those wicks every time. 1, 2, 3 back to back. The wicks are up here. That's great entries for puts. Those are put entries. You can see that. Just again, go to different time frames. Look around. You will see these are put entries up here. Up here, there's a put entry. Up here, there's a put entry. Put entries. Multiple, right? Does that make sense? ExxonMobil, right? And again, any questions, just throw them out there. Throw them out there. All right. Go to the daily chart for this. Any questions, throw them out there. I love the questions so far. I like that. Oh, if the market tells my bullish, AMD is about to fly. Shop. Yeah. That's why I'm saying we'll be there. We will be there. No, right now I'm leaning bearish. But if it does turn bullish, we will be there. Okay. Here, guys, this is really important. I have levels marked out. I told my group the other day, these levels have been marked out since 2020. So not the 119, but the other ones have been marked out since 2021. Look how disrespect the levels. We just broke past one of my levels. Now, we might be bouncing on the 200 moving average. If not, we're going back to 110. I will look at puts. Right there is a good opportunity. Right there's a nice little drop for you to catch off the puts. 3, 4 things I can look out for here, right? I'm gonna go with 4 things I can look out for. Breaking the level of support. That's 1. 2 will be if we close below the moving average, maybe tomorrow daily chart. Sorry, tomorrow daily candle. 3, we below the moving average is here. And number 4, the moving average is crossed to the downside. Again, the 9 crossed over the 21 to the downside, death cross. There's blood here. 4 red candles back to back. Weekly candle, also red. Right? Doji, no, not even Doji on the weekly. Here we are. I like this for puts down to 110. I do. If it does happen to bounce off the moving average on the daily chart, 200, yeah, okay, we could see some bullish momentum. We might bounce here, right? We might bounce here. You see, we pushed below the moving average, we closed above. All right, so still in the balance, still 50-50. I'm leaning more bearish than bullish. I'm gonna do whatever it gives me. If we do break above, we start trending up again, we get to 114, 115. Best believe I'm taking calls at least up to 117, 18. Swinging those calls. Again, I've had these lines drawn out for so long. July, we traded in between this. August, we traded in between this. September, we finally broke out. You know, there's money here. To the downside, most likely. But if it does bounce here, there's money to the upside too. Any questions on Exxon? Let me know. All right, no questions on Exxon. That's fine. That's cool. Next stock, SoFi. Right. SoFi daily chart, bearish. This is the reason I got SoFi out here. Okay. SoFi has a 9 and 21 that's about to cross to the downside. SoFi is also one that when it was 650, I said, okay, I'm looking at calls. Okay, cool. It's done its run up. It's gonna pull back. It's cool. That's not a bad thing. It's cool. What I will say is just watch when like because everyone's kind of sleeping on SoFi right now. Again, let me speak from an investor's point of view. This year is down 28%. Okay, look, we started the year, we were up there, $9.50. Cool. Now it's down 28% on the year. This one, the reason I like it long term, these guys have a great customer base. You know, they got the least risky customers. They got those guys, the people who are using SoFi, as in using the like or customers of the company. They're the guys with high income, um, high credit score. They got money. They trustworthy. They know what they're doing. Cool, fintech, right? SoFi is a fintech company. Let this start getting more traction. Let them start opening more avenues, maybe incorporating some AI. Let them start getting some more expanding their customer base. Then you're going to start to see this move. Right now, bearish, and this one is one of those, once it's bearish, yeah, it just sells off like no man's business, right? You're going to see this on the 4-hour chart. It just sells off like they don't care. Look, from 29th of August, 8:15, it dropped like crazy, and it pushed up to moving averages to sell off again. Test the moving averages to sell off again. I like SoFi long term. Right now, I ain't gonna lie to you. Right now, it's clearly bearish. Right, one of those stocks where you just look at it, you're like, yeah, I'm trading puts on it. Tesla. Right. So daily again. All right, there we go. Daily candle from Friday. Disgusting. Shout out to those of you who traded this on Friday with us. Wow. Right? I'm just intrigued to see what it do around the 205 price point because that's where the moving average is and that's where it bounced last time, right? It's also where it began the gap down last time back in August. So I want to see what it do. I'm expecting a $5 drop if the markets are bearish, if EVs are bearish, tech is bearish, Nasdaq is bearish. Cool. The Qs are bearish. Yeah, Tesla going to be bearish. Well, I want to see, do we break that 205 price point? And more importantly, do we break the 200 price point? If we do, best believe I'm going to be there. Best believe. Any questions on this? No questions on this one? It's fine. What was the other one I was looking at? Oh, Roku, ticker symbol ROKU. So daily chart holding around the moving averages. So funny enough, if the stock market does start rallying again, this could blow. It really could. Could jump back up to $72. Otherwise, you could see us just knife right here. Fall below with little support, you know. I mean, this one is kind of setting up for, yeah, this is an interest up. This is another one I'll say is 50-50. It's kind of holding around the moving averages right now, consolidating. It's holding its own. In fact, speaking of holding its own, I'm going to pull up CALH Celsius, okay? Friday, slaughterhouse, right? For the market. Celsius only dropped 7 cents Friday. Celsius is bearish, as you can see, but it's a little bit oversold. And again, it held its own Friday. Stocks was down, Tesla was down 8%, AMD down 4%, you know, Q is down 3%. Celsius held its own, down less than 0.25%. Intraday, or not even intraday, but working towards the lower time frames. Let's have a look at this. Don't get me wrong, Celsius is still bearish, but you go 4 hour, a little bit of consolidation. Hourly consolidating. 15-minute. You see, and not a lot of, like, we sold off, then we rose again, outside bar. But hey, Chelsea is holding its own Friday. I don't know what that means. I really don't. But it does mean that I'm watching it. Because either two things going to happen, right? Go to the weekly chart, right? It's clearly bearish, right? It's clearly bearish. Daily chart. Come on now. There we go. Clearly bearish, but it's way over right now. So we're at a point where we're like, okay, you know, how much more do we got to fall before we recover, if we do recover? I don't know about that, but we are going to see. It's definitely one on my radar. Just to see. Um, I think there's a mic. That's all right. Cool. So yeah, Celsius. I'll keep my eyes on it. I do want to point out none of this again financial advice. I'm also going to post my written watch list in the Discord tomorrow pre-market. I'll probably start writing it after this session, but I'll post it pre-market. I might post it tonight. Depends how I feel. Um, this is a trade. This is a stock we slapped like 2 weeks in a row. This is like 381 now. We've been trading it since it was 520. Oh, 386. Okay. Anyone know where this is going? SMCI? You got a $30 drop to come. That's previous level of resistance. And when we finally broke that resistance, we flew all the way to 1200. Right now, we got a $30 drop to come before this gets really messy. Once it gets messy than that, poof, then I don't even know what's going to happen with it. But yeah, SMCI. Similar to this stock that a couple of the guys been trading. ASTS. I know what's coming for this one. Yeah, you had fun up at $38. You know where this is going. 9 and 21 starting to cross the downside. Price action closed below both of them. Yeah, this is going down, 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 down. Yeah, 4 hour. Drippy, drippy, drippy. Down. Yeah. You know what to do with ASTS. So yeah, puts on that one. Any others? I mean, I traded DocuSign put last week. It didn't go crazy. It took like 24%. They had earnings. Yeah, the stock rose 4% on Friday, so those calls still did their thing. Yeah, there you go. Wait off to moving average. Let's see if this can push higher. Let's see. I'm definitely intrigued to find out what DocuSign can do, especially because at $61 last time, there's a strong resistance to $61. Last couple of times, it's a strong resistance. So we wicked off that level again. We can push on higher, then that would be great to see. You also got to remember, if you zoom out on DocuSign, you will see this is way below where it was once. Way below. Way below. There you go. Now you see what I mean when I say way below. This stock was up at $320. Now we're back at 59. That's prime peasantry right there. Sava a bit like ASTS. Just tanked. Tanked ever since it was up at $43. So just keep on your radar again for puts, If we do break below the moving average, we still have more room to drop, all the way to $21. All right, what time is it? All right, we're coming up on, an hour and 5 minutes. Any questions? Fire away. Those are the kind of stocks I'm watching. That's kind of how I look for stocks, Talk to me. Wait, where is he? Good question. He here though. Apple stock. Sorry, I heard the first part of your question. The second part I didn't hear. Right, yeah. So for those who don't know, we have I think it's just the iPhone event tomorrow. They're going to talk about the iPhone 16, the expected growth, that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of expectations on Apple. In fact, we can do what I actually usually do in my free time. Actually, that's funny, actually. So yeah, if the if the iPhone news isn't good enough or whatever, or doesn't meet expectation, yeah, this stock could fall. It's difficult because there's like 2 billion people who have iPhones or something like that, and it kind of doesn't really affect. It doesn't, like, the fact that 2 billion people are using iPhones doesn't affect the stock price as much as I would expect. Like this stock is obviously going to go to $300 long term. It's going to continue rising, right? But right now we're in a time where AI is most important. Okay, so if they don't if they don't unveil any AI news or any features in regards to AI or nothing like that, then I don't see a lot of people flocking towards the stock, right? I feel like it won't drop, it won't sell off hard, no. But this is their first chance with the iPhone, at least, to tackle AI. They got to do something in regards to that. If they do, I think this stock could move a lot. We can see the stock push back. We can see the stock push back up to all-time highs, pretty quickly. Jump $15, $16. But if they don't, my honest thoughts about it, long story short, if they don't announce anything in regards to AI for the iPhone 16, I don't see the stock moving very far. I don't think it will tank, but I don't see it moving very far. You remember in was it pandemic 2020? I think when everyone was like anticipating like 5G. 5G was the thing back then. I had a whole list of stocks which were 5G stocks. I feel like this is kind of the same right now with AI. You know, your focus right now is on AI. If you can package some AI features into your iPhones, or what else, that's kind of what's going to decide whether this stock gains momentum, I think. If they want to boost sales, like right now, I don't think they've boosted sales in a while. I don't think they have. I might need to check the numbers to really check if they have boosted sales in a while, but I don't think they have. In order to boost sales right now, they have to mention something about AI features. They have to mention something about, our iPhone 16 can do this, or it's going to be able to run this, that kind of stuff. But that's what I can tell you right now. I don't know what the expectations are. I don't know if they have plans to announce something with AI. But listen, in the smartphone business and in the industry we are today, in the time period we are today, this industry needs to have AI news in order to carry the stock up. So revenue, I mean, we can actually look. I think their revenue stays pretty consistent. They now need to get to the point where they increase that revenue. How are they going to increase that revenue? It's going to come from AI-driven news, AI-driven topics. Look at the financials. This is exactly what I said. Look at annual revenue. You go from 365 to 394. Okay, great. You drop down to 383. It's quarterly. I think it shows an even worse picture. There we go. 89. You jump up to 119. You're down to 90. You're down to 85. Yeah. If you want to increase your revenue and gross profit, you need to start talking about AI. You need to start letting us know how you're going to grow your revenue, how AI in this iPhone is going to change so much, this and that. That's the most important thing they can do to try and create some kind of traction, to try and get this stock to move again to the upside. There's upside potential with Apple, though. There is upside potential. Good question. Same thing. Google should have been ahead. Google messed up. I don't know how much you guys know about Google. They messed up. These guys should have been ahead with AI. They had the key to, boosting productivity. They had the key to, help people. In fact, Google's the biggest search engine. All they needed to do was make a chat GBT kind of thing on Google, like with their services, But they wanted to continue doing what they've been doing. They don't want to use no Google chatbot and all that kind of stuff. Well, that's why the stock isn't up at $200. Google right now, very bearish. Google is not one stock I look at and say, yeah, I'm going to try trade calls. If you look at all time frames for Google, it's telling me one thing. Look how it dropped 4% Friday. Like I said at the beginning of this video, big tech is falling down right now. There's been let's call it slow. Let's just call it losing momentum, right? It's just losing momentum. Google, I'll be looking at shorting this. Every time we consolidate, it sells off, right? Consolidate, sells off. Like I said, Palantir is one of the few that's holding strong. Google not holding strong right now. They're not showing me signs of, this stock is going to be back at 170, 80 soon. Nah. Google is clearly bearish right now. Great question. Anything else? Anyone else? Who else got questions? Go on, go for it. Yeah, good question. So, funny enough, SPY is also going to ride on what Apple does with their little event tomorrow. I still see this as bearish. I see it for the month of September as being bearish. Yeah, well, tells us a lot. It was overbought, and yeah, it was due a pullback. The markets will pull back. The markets are always gonna. They're not always gonna just rally constantly. They're gonna pull back. There's gonna be pullbacks along the way. That's what's happening with the SP 500 right now. SP 500, Nasdaq, they dropping hard. The Dow as well. If we look at the Russell I think is the one that's not getting slaughtered as bad, and still Russell has a bigger future, as in sorry, bigger growth potential. Let me say that. But yeah, SPY, S&P 500. I'll be looking to short it right now. That's what I'm looking to do. It might not be there for shorting tomorrow, but that's what I'm expecting it to be. On the monthly or the daily, probably. Let's see. Or the weekly. This is not. This is. It is. If this had a bit more. This is kind of like straight up, straight down. But yeah, it is. It's pretty much along the same lines as the Head and Shoulders. If, like I said, if this had a bit more, because it came straight up and straight down. If it had a bit more push up consolidation, it could have. Exactly. It's very sharp. Um, yeah, it really is. Price fell to break above here in July. Price fell to break above the same level in August. It's, yeah, like I said, if it was a little bit rounder, yeah, but it's because it's straight up and straight down. It's more double top here, like a yeah, right, yeah, mhm, yeah, yeah. Like, hold on. There's two ways to look at this one. For me, let me show you the way I look at it. This here, this here is a range to break as well, right? We stayed in that range and then we dropped. This, oh yeah, 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 yeah. Sorry, actually, yeah, this is actually the real. That's true. Yeah, hold on. There we go. Yeah. Facts. Yeah. Yeah. Low. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Hold up. Yep. Let's do that instead. Yeah. Oops. Hold on. Let me do it again. All right. I'm here. Yeah. 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 All right. Yeah. Yep. I've been looking at. Oh, yeah. Wait, okay. Every time. Yeah. Yep. I'm about to see that. Okay. Okay. Yeah. 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 And then boom. Structure. Textbook. Boom. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, I'm gonna catch that. Don't worry about it. Jackson. Easy. Actually, that's right. That right there is what they call easy money. Yeah. Nope. Nah. This one. Let me- Yeah. I'll say that's what I want to say. I'll say it's about to reverse, but I wouldn't say that was the reversal. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Hmm. Yeah, I think so too. Like, yes, yeah, hmm, exactly, exactly, exactly. That's exactly where it is. It might. Exactly. No, facts. But then you have to go proper out the bunny. I'm talking 50s. If you're gonna get a leap, if you buy for November, you can stick with the 36, 37 to 40. If you want to go for leap, you talk about next year, then go 50. Go big. Remember, it don't have to go over 50. Yep. Exactly. Facts. Exactly. I couldn't. I couldn't see who was asking the question though. Is it a pink name or a green name? Because if you pink, you should come turn yourself green. I couldn't see who was asking. Anybody remember this trade from last week? Want to explain it? Oh, I said. Oh, I said. So this was the swing put from last week. Does everyone see what happened and see why I got puts and swing puts? Okay, wait, hold on. Yeah, no, I was saying. Can you guys see Mara? You see Mara stock? Ah, uh, you see Mara or nah on the screen? It's not working, is it? Yeah. Oh, I'm saying why we took Mara puts last week. That we swinging the Mara put. Oh, nice. Yeah. Now I was trying to see if anybody knew when why I took Mara puts. Just looking at this chart on the screen. All right. Anybody else in the chat see why I took Mara puts? I still have one contract left. It's up 250%. Yeah. So and then yeah. Oh, for up this one. Oh wait, hold up. Yeah, he is. Yep. Yep. This is a key spot. Yep. Uh-huh. Yep. That's it. All right. All right. Yeah. Oh, you don't see it? Yeah. Yeah. What you want me to do? I, hold on. I got inputs up here. But yeah. That's fine. That's fine. That's how we do it. That's how we chart it. Oh yeah, when you said scroll, I was like, all right, cool. Oh, this one. Yeah. Yep. Oh, here. Swing low. Friday.
bro. That's what I'm telling you, bro. You need to tap in with us, bro. Yeah. He not he not yeah, for sure you gotta tap in. For sure, bro. You wanna send me a DM? You ain't got any more questions? For sure, let me know. But hopefully, yeah, yeah, for sure. Straight. That's exactly what I did with the Mara put, bro. It's that one is just buy high, sell low. Fact. Yep. Fact. Come tap in with us, bro. I know, I know a lot of you guys. Wait, where's showing off actually? Facts. Fact. You remember?
We make it easy. Bob, it's like, Bob, you remember that Roku chart I posted a couple weeks ago with the calls? Remember I posted the Roku chart when it was like $62. That Roku stock, you see it, it's those kind of thing. You just see the chart in the chat. Someone might grab it, someone might not. Who knows? But if it's in the chat, you know.
He was. He was before. But yeah,
That, sure enough, what do you think about the session? Yeah. Yeah. Well, now.
What do you mean? No, I'm trying to make some. I haven't eaten. So when I jumped on the session, it was right when I got home, so I was trying to make something up now. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah. 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 Nah, no. Yeah, you saw me repost the tweet from the other day when I fit the 3K into 78 in what 11 weeks. You haven't seen that tweet? Hold on, I'm about to retweet it right now. I'm gonna retweet. Wait, let me see if I can find it right now. Here we go. I'm about. To, all right. Check, check what I just reposted right now. Check what I just reposted on my Twitter right now. Check right now. You want the keys? All right. Yeah, I'm gonna get them. Yeah. Yeah. Come on, make sure you tap in. If your name ain't green by tomorrow, you know what happened. You ain't gonna be seeing the plays. So make sure you turn your name green. Make sure you look at my last retweet too. Yeah. Let me appreciate it. Make sure you DM me for sure. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. We're running it back this week as well. Yeah. Me too. I'm ready to appreciate you. Facts. Facts. Sign up. Sign up. Trust me, you're worth it. Trust me, you're worth it. Thank you.